Welcome back to Open Line. Jennifer Abernathy is my guest today with the Tennessee Respite Coalition. And if you are a caregiver to a child with special needs, to a spouse, to a loved one, this is the show for you, because this is about helping you get a break and get the time off that you need. So, Jennifer, I would imagine that your two most popular programs are the voucher program and the senior companion program. Can you kind of, again, just tell me what those are? If people are joining us late, this could really help some people out there.
Oh, definitely. Well, our voucher program is a reimbursement program to really help defray some of the costs of the family caregiver hiring somebody to come in their home or utilizing an out-of-home program to care for their loved one. That program, we don't determine who that is, you know, who provides the service, when they provide it, you know, anything like that, because the family caregiver is the employer. We're just there to help reimburse and relieve some of the burden of the cost.
Because this is about the caregiver.
This is about the caregiver. Yes, definitely. So, and then the Senior Companions program, which again is just in Davidson County, is our volunteer program where we do have volunteers that are screened. They have fingerprint, background checks, FBI checks, and 40 hours of training before they can be a volunteer to go out into the homes of families that are in caregiving situations, provide the companionship and the respite for the caregiver.
And then those folks are reimbursed through you all.
Yes, yes. They with the National Service Program through the Corporation for National and Community Service, they're able to we're able to give them a small stipend to really it's to defray the cost so that volunteering doesn't hurt them financially. You know, we reimburse them for some mileage and some meals if if their day takes that on. So so it's really a great win-win-win for the caregiver getting respite, the person that needs the care getting companionship, and then the volunteer actually gets the stipend to help supplement their limited income.
And with the voucher program, you only ask for two pieces of paper, basically.
Yep, two pieces of paper.
It's that easy. You're not going to have to fill out this book and send it in.
Yep, exactly. We ask for proof of diagnosis for the person you're caring for, as well as some kind of proof of income for the household. And we just ask that because some of our funding sources do have income guidelines associated with them. So we ask that for everybody so that we can best determine which funding source is going to work for you, as well as, so we can make sure we're using our funds wisely as well. So,
which we all would hope of any nonprofit.
Oh, exactly.
We all want that, absolutely. And I know you brought along some stories of caregivers that have been helped.
Yes.
If you could just kind of share, since we can't bring them in tonight, you share those stories with me.
Yeah, I know it's one of those things when I go out and talk about the program. It's hard to bring somebody
because they're caregiving.
Yes. So one of my favorite stories was a husband and wife that we helped, and it was both their second marriage, and they fell in love. It was a whirlwind thing, got married, and they're both motorcycle riders. And then a few years into the marriage, she was diagnosed with ALS. And terrible
and
it's just and of course hers progressed pretty quickly, and so he turned into a caregiver basically overnight. And it was in talking with them, they were meant for each other, because he was like, oh, I'm not leaving her. She's she's the one I want to be with no matter how long we have. So but he utilized our service, actually had people from his church come in that he paid to be her respite provider so that he could go out and ride his motorcycle.
Because that was his thing.
That was his thing,
It filled him back up. It gave him that time away to clear his head, clear his heart, and get recharged.
And he always said that, he wishes that she could have been with him because they used to ride together. But it was you know, it was that time that he needed to just say, you know what, I'm an individual too, and I need to take care of myself. And that's not selfish.
No.
You know, a lot of caregivers get caught up in, well, I don't want to be selfish. I don't need to do this for myself. And, you know, and they lose their identity when they're a caregiver. They become a caregiver.
Yes.
They're no longer Jane Doe. They're, you know, my mom's caregiver.
Yes.
So, you know, that's why respite is so important, because you can use it to get your individuality back and your social connections, and maintain those connections through your faith community or your social clubs, or, you know, however you want to stay connected, because unfortunately at some point you're not going to be a caregiver anymore.
Right.
And then you're going to go back to being Jane Doe. And if you've cut off all those connections because you haven't taken the time to maintain them, it's going to be hard.
And I would think too, when you are not that caregiver anymore, if the person passes away, and if you have cut yourself off, you have no one to help you in the grieving process. You are very, very much alone, and you are in a very quiet house at that point.
Yes, yes, most definitely. And so the thing that we always encourage caregivers to do is make that social connection. You know, yes, you know, it's important to have that uninterrupted nap or do those solitary activities, because you know, those are so much needed. But you know, having those social connections, I know some of our caregivers actually use the respite time to go to a Alzheimer's support group or a Parkinson's support group. So, you know, even though it's still focused on, you know, their caregiving situation, it's focused on their feelings for it. And then you get into the community that knows what you're going through and can help you through it. And then when you need that support, you know, through a grieving process, you have it available.
So very, very important. We reach a wide area, and we mentioned that the Senior Companions program is just for the Davidson County area.
Yes.
But the other programs and the helpline reaches across the state.
Across the state.
Hook people up wherever they are.
Yes, yes, definitely. And that's the great thing about what we try and do is our goal is for every caregiver to have respite in the state of Tennessee. I would love to be able to say everybody gets respite. You know, just, you know, unfortunately we have funders and we need, you know, we have restrictions and everything. But the key, even if we're not able to help a family caregiver get respite, people can be creative about how to get the help that they need and the time that they need. One of the things I suggest when I'm talking to caregivers is, you know, have a fishbowl by the door and write down on little pieces of paper things that you need done, or, you know, an appointment that you have to go to, a certain time that you need somebody to come in and care for your loved one. Put them in, and then if anybody comes through the door or asks, what can I do to help?
How can I help?
Just have them pick one, because usually when somebody asks, what can I do to help? You're kind of sitting there like, I don't know. I can't think of anything right now. But if you put them in that fishbowl right when you're thinking of them,
they're there.
You've got them there, and then you can have that time, and you can you know, and you can figure out exactly what you're going to do with the respite. And you know, and the other piece and the other thing I love about our voucher program is that caregivers can use it and plan it. You know, they're able to say, okay, I have, you know, every Tuesday from 3 to 4 that I'm going to go do this thing that I like.
And then you can look forward to it.
Exactly.
There's anticipation, excitement. You get to enjoy it then.
Yeah. So planning respite is also a good tool to have. So it doesn't sneak up on you and say, what am I going to do with my time? And then you wind up paying bills or doing something that's not that
going to fill your tank back up.
Exactly. Exactly.
It needs to be about you.
Yes.
And I imagine once you make that first phone call to say, okay, I think that I should do this, it gets a little bit easier the next time.
Oh, definitely. And we have family caregivers that come back to us year after year, to get that, because if you're in a caregiving situation for a number of years, the need for respite doesn't stop.
No, it doesn't.
So that's one thing that we try and do as well is we help people more than once.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just a one-time shot. So
when we come back, we're going to make sure that we hook people up with the website, the phone number. So get your pen and paper. We're coming right back with all that information for you. Stay with us.